Sergey has a green card and I'm an American citizen. And we're both from Ukraine, Kyiv and Kharkiv, and we both lived in New York for over 10 years now.
We got married in August in New York, and then we both came there for business, and we are doing actually the finance and investments. And
so that's what we came here to do in Ukraine.
They were telling people you have to leave because there is a possibility of war, but my wife being like 9 months pregnant was completely impossible to travel for a long distance, especially taking a plane or so. So it's like for us it was a very, very special situation which is not yet resolved.
Now he's a month old and we can't really go back to the US because the US embassy left the country, so he's an American without a paper that proves that, and we have to go to Europe to get his papers fixed. But we can't.
You can't because I don't have the American passport yet, so I'm just a permanent resident in New York City, US, but I don't have the citizenship, so they consider me like a Ukrainian. So and
Ukrainians under 60, they cannot leave the country because of the military state that we're having right now.
For us is a challenge in a way that we have to stand strong. The baby is always difficult to manage, especially at this age. I mean, he was born on the 12th of February, so the war started exactly when he was like 10 days old. And it's like, you don't sleep at night, you have to, and in the morning you have news like new attacks, bombing, and we were lucky to get diapers because there are any more diapers in the supermarkets right now.
And the doctors left, so
no doctors.
Yeah, the hospital that we had our baby in, we were in touch with a few of them, and then we're just texting, and they are all over the place. Some of them are already in Europe. So if anything happens, we don't really have anybody to go to. We hope nothing happens, really.
And we don't want to separate. And probably in the coming weeks, they're going to have negotiations with Russians and try to fix the whole situation, maybe. But if not, then of course we're gonna use the first opportunity to go back to go to Moldova or Poland and to get ourselves to the embassy, get in the papers, and go back to US, home actually, because we considering our both countries like home, and came here actually to do business, which is just completely stopped.
So yeah, we had to come up with a different source of income. So we started baking New York style bagels and Italian focaccia bread and selling it to local stores.
Our family, we need clarification about how we can leave the country, and this is it. We could not plan anything because the country has changed forever. Like a few weeks ago, it's not anymore Ukraine we know, and then we don't know the future for this country. We know. We hope we're gonna be safe and survive this scare, but actually nobody knows exactly what to do and how quickly we can get out of the country.
As soon as we started to hear the situation in Ukraine and knew that most likely temporary protected status would be granted, wanted to see how we could help individuals and get involved to provide support in the way that I can as an immigration attorney. Some people are still trying to bring family temporarily on tourist visas. There are situations of people trying to get family who can't get into the United States with a tourist visa, but into other countries or into Mexico. And some individuals are seeking asylum at the border between the US and Mexico. Our efforts were just part of a grand, group of attorneys, or a larger group of attorneys, pro bono attorneys, trying to get involved and help them in the way that we can. Several of the families are trying to figure out ways to get family members out of Ukraine still. They have not been able to get them out. And of course, men under 60 are not allowed to leave. And so people have to make difficult choices. Are you going to try to get children and elderly individuals and, spouses and women having to make choices about whether or not they're going to stay with their male family members or going to try to leave. We just started letting the community know that we were available to help Ukrainians who are already present in the United States and eligible for temporary protected status to apply for that, as well as help individuals who are trying to reunite with family members who are still in Ukraine, and assist individuals who got here who maybe are not eligible for temporary protected status, which is quite limited in that you had to be here already on March 1st. It's not a type of status that you can apply for as you come in if you were not here on that date. Typically is designated when you have situations such as an armed conflict or a natural disaster. Haiti, for example, during the period with the earthquakes, was granted temporary protected status. It's only for 18 months at a time. And so Ukrainians that are eligible for it will be granted work authorization and be able to remain in the United States for 18 months. If the conflict is still continuing, they can reapply and renew that if the Department of Homeland Security renews the temporary status.